Welcome to this session on how to get the most out of the Copilot Success Kit. If you haven't heard of the Success Kit, don't worry, I'm going to take you through it. If you're wondering what it is, it's basically where Microsoft have hidden all the great assets to help you think about deployment of Copilot, how you're going to measure success, how you're going to drive awareness. They've thought of a lot of things and they've put it in this kit, which is really handy for you. Now, what am I going to take you through today? I'm going to look at navigating the Success Kit, how do you get your way around it? I'm going to take you through some of the guides that are there for deploying and planning success. We're going to take a look at the scenario library. There's an awesome tools and templates section with loads of hidden gems in there. I'm going to show you that. And then we're also going to talk about what you've got in there to drive awareness. So things like prompt-a-thons. We've done some great prompt-a-thons at Microsoft. How can you replicate that in your organization? And then launch day kits. You want to shout and yell how great Copilot is in your organization. Start getting people investing the time to learn those new skills. That launch day kit is going to help you. So where do I start? Well, as a change manager, I always like to start with the why. Why are we doing this project? Why do I need AI? Why should I invest time looking at the hundreds of links that are in this Copilot Success Kit? Well, change management with Copilot requires more emphasis on driving adoption than in standard deployments, I would say. Copilot is like nothing we've ever deployed before. We're not switching something off. So we're asking people to devote time in learning something new when we all know that people are really, really busy. And Copilot requires those new habits and behaviours to be created. And we're all learning this new way of working together. So the more help that we can get to help us as change managers or project managers to share that knowledge with the wider community and feel confident that the knowledge we're sharing is best practice, that it's coming from people who really understand the product, I think that's going to help. So in the Success Kit, you're going to find things that help you plan, communicate, educate, inspire, excite all your colleagues to get on board with this new journey of AI. So let me show you what it's all about. Now, you can go to the adoption site, so adoption.microsoft.com, and have a look at the Copilot site. There's tons of great stuff in there. What I really like on the adoption page is this section down here where, you know, if you're looking from a leadership view, you might want to look at these articles. If you're user enablement focused, then you can go down this route. You get the idea. But what we're going to focus on today is just that Success Kit. Now, it's hidden away a little bit here. It's not really clear that this is the link to the Success Kit. So you've got latest news announcements and you've got the community, which is a great place to get started. But in the center here, you've got new Copilot chat and agent resources. We've updated our Copilot Success Kit. Now, I think they probably need to change that to Copilot Success Kit, just so it's really clear. When you click on this, this is where we're going to get started. So this is the Success Kit page. Now, at the beginning here, you'll see there's quite clearly labels, start here. Great place to start. Number of guides here to help you. And we're going to step through looking at some of these guides. Then we've got this awesome section called enablement tools and templates. And there's loads of great stuff behind that. I'm going to click on that in a second. A bit of a summary of some of the links that you'll find elsewhere. And then a what's in the full kit also brings together different links from different areas into a big list, a starting list, I would say. Great addition recently is this changelog. So you can see what is being added to the Success Kit. You'll see here now we've brought in Copilot Chat. That's now made an appearance. And there's a great agent starter kit that we'll look at. And then it's available in different languages. So you'll see this list of items are available in different languages. I'm not sure 100% that everything is covered, but the main things are covered in those different languages for you to use. If I just go back up here a second and go and learn more, this takes us into the tools and templates piece. So you've got Copilot tools and templates, Copilot chat tools and templates, and you've got M365 Copilot tools and templates. Now, a lot of links, quite confusing in all honesty, So I have clicked on every single link in this Copilot Success Kit so that you don't have to. And I'm going to try and take you through and just show you where all the hidden gems are. So we've had a quick look there. We're going to get started here with what's in these guides. There are a number of really good guides out there. You've got the guide on helping you implement. So this is what is Copilot, and I'm going to click and show you through this in a second. We've got the tech readiness guide. What do you need to do to think about security and data? User enablement. This is a great guide, and this is definitely my go-to. I'm going to show you why that is in a second. Then we've got a view on agents, whether they're Studio, SharePoint, or Agent Builder. Everything you need to know is in this guide. And then how are you going to measure all the success? Everything you need to know is in this Microsoft Viva guide. So let's have a look at some of these. We'll start with the implementation overview guide. Now, this is really handy because this takes you through three fundamental components of Copilot success. The first one being leadership and the importance of your leader being on board as a sponsor and a champion to help you drive that success. Then we move on to the human change, thinking about reskilling, new ways of working, thinking about doing the processes that you do today, but now incorporating Copilot. And then the third piece, which is obviously critical, is that tech readiness. Is your data where it needs to be? Have you got all your security in place? So let me just show you quickly what that looks like. Now, starting with this implementation framework. There's loads of great things in here. As I said, the three essential for Copilot success. It then has different sections. So you've got leadership section, which talks about how you might want to propose AI into your organization, clarifying some of the drivers for AI, thinking about some of the high value scenarios that you might want to do. And then we move into human change. And with human change, we start looking at, okay, what are the things that you need to look at as a priority? So things like scenarios, how do you get people to prompt? How are you going to measure that success? Also things like the importance of change management. How do you get people from their current state to that future state where they're really proficient with Copilot? And then finally, this tech readiness stage. So thinking about having these optimization assessments and just making sure that you are ready for Copilot. And as we move into user enablement, and this is definitely my favorite guide and one that I use all the time because I'm a change manager. And this takes you through the different steps that you might want to consider. I really like the implementation overview then. You could just double check that you've thought of all these things, but it takes you through each of the areas. So thinking about sponsorship to start off with, what does a great sponsor look like? How can you assess how influential your sponsor might be? Assembling your team and who might be in your team, thinking about the different resources that are available to you, the importance of an AI council and some of the things that you might want to incorporate into that strategy. Loads and loads of great things in here. Building your community, managing and building your champions network. We all know how critical they are. Thinking about what your key scenarios are going to be. What does those high value success use cases look like, and how you're going to know when you've got that. Bringing in the scenario library as well to help you. So loads and loads of great stuff in there. There's actually 93 slides in there. It finishes on some really cool stuff about getting Viva Insights set up so that you can measure the impact. We all know if you can't measure it, you can't necessarily value it. So loads of great stuff. So that is the enablement kit. And then I'm just going to click over to the tech readiness kit. really great deck, 67 slides in here, but this talks about the tech readiness work stream, everything you need to know to get started there. I like the way it talks about things like the optimization assessment. I go through some of these, how to build your plan, data security, and controls in one place, and then setup guides, signing permissions. Everything you need to know to get started is covered in that tech readiness guide there. So that's the first 3 guides there. Great place to get started, as I said. The next one that they've recently added is this new Copilot chat and agent overview guide. Now, actually, when you click into that, what you're going to do is get taken to the new Copilot chat and agent starter kit, which you can download into a zip file. And in that starter kit, you are going to find some really great stuff to get you started there. You've got the agent overview. You've got to get started with Copilot chat training. And then you've got the IT setup and controls. There's also a kind of a getting started handout for a 1-page guide there for colleagues. It's got some embedded videos in there, and you can download all of this kit. It's a great way to understand a little bit more about Copilot Chat, which is the free version of Copilot, and how agents are also included in that against the full M365 full license. So let's just have a quick look at what is included in that. So I mentioned the agent overview guide. I think this slide, although it's really busy, is actually really, really helpful because it goes through agent builder, which is how you can create agents within like Teams chat. It goes through SharePoint agents, and it goes through Copilot Studio, and it then explains who is the target audience, who can use it, who can build it, how complex it is, what data it supports, and anything else you need to know. So really great slide. Although it looks like a lot, it's a great place to help you, or to help clarify the difference between the 3 agents. Then this deck actually takes you through examples of those 3 different types of agents. So you've got the example agents that are part of Copilot Chat. So these are templated agents. It shows you where how you can build an agent in some really quick steps. We go through SharePoint agents, how to build those, and then start getting into that more complex agent setup as well. So loads of deep dive into the different types of agents, why they might be useful for agent builder, examples for SharePoint. And then, as I said, more complex ones, we start thinking about graph connectors. ServiceNow is obviously a big one for lots of customers. That's a real win. Salesforce connector, Confluence is another big win for a lot of our customers, and definitely Jira for our IT teams as well. So really great. That's the agent overview guide. Then you need to start explaining to colleagues, what is this free Copilot chat? So this guide's going to help you do that. So it gives you an idea of how to explain what Copilot chat is and what it's not, where they can and can't find it. So where it's available today, how to download it onto the mobile. Also lots of little great videos in here that's going to really help you explain Copilot Chat in the most simplest way possible. Different screenshots of what it looks like, explaining what a prompt is, so a little bit of prompt guidance there, taking through the navigating the prompts gallery, looking at some of the out-the-box agents, and another little video here on Agent Builder. So loads more stuff in there for you to go and have a look at. And then all importantly is the Copilot Chat and Agent IT setup. Now, one of the most important slides here is going to be this one, slide 13. So this talks about the costs for the free Copilot Chat. because the Copilot chat piece is free. But when you start talking to agents, depending on where the data is that that agent is talking to, it's going to start costing on a pay-as-you-go meter. So this explains what is chargeable, what is not. So if you built an agent that's just looking at web data, it's not going to be chargeable. But if you build an agent that's looking at SharePoint data or Salesforce data, then it's going to be on a pay-as-you-go meter. So this just explains what the differences are there. So I think that slide's really helpful. Also has a before and after comparison. So if you're wondering like what changed, a bit of a comparison against the different protection that's available in Copilot chat versus M365 Copilot. M365 Copilot is the full license that includes Office 365 and your communications data. And then this is another great slide as well. So what controls have you got in Purview to help you govern these? So everything you really need to know to get started managing those agents is all in there. Okay, so that was just a quick view. As I said, you can go into that page, click on the toolkit, download it. You're going to get the 3 guides that I just showed you and the 1-page handout, which you can edit as well. Next great place to go is the scenario library. Now, the scenario library is just packed full of different scenarios, depending on whether you want to just look at the functional area, you know, working legal or marketing, or you really want to deep dive into your industry, you can do both of those. It has 2 sections. So the first section is the library. There's lots of day in the lives there. You can click on each of these areas and download a zip file with all the day in the life examples. So let me just show you what that looks like. I go to the scenario library here. You see here, I've got functional areas, I've got industry areas. If I'm interested in retail, for instance, I can click on here. It's going to allow me to download a deck of all the retail scenarios, and they look like those day in a life guides. You can also look at different KPIs you might want to consider for this area of the business, and kind of a before AI and after AI example processes. So lots of information there for you to have a look at. Then you'll see there's this view download section. And if I go in here, I might be interested in multiple different scenario kits, and I don't want to have to download all of these or click on all those individual links. Now, accessibility scenario kit is a good one. So I could download that, give you an idea of what that looks like. I've got my deck. These are things to try, just a short deck, but then different scenarios that would be useful for people with different abilities. So if I go through this, you're going to see these day in a life slides. So a day in a life person who may be blind, or I've got mobility disability, dyslexic, autistic. So you get the idea. There's loads in there. You can also edit these, which is great. So if you want to put your branding on, you might find that really helpful. So the last section on here is how to accelerate Copilot with Viva. Now, this is another great guide and one that I get asked for all the time. This is really important for customers to be able to measure the success of the deployment. Now, Viva obviously covers multiple different things. So in this section or in this guide, it actually covers 3 areas: communications, measurement, and skilling. So in the communications area, it looks at how you can use the Copilot community in Viva Engage. So there's a great template out there specifically for Copilot, which actually recommends people who have a Copilot license to join the community. Great way to get out all the latest changes. And then measurement, which we know is key. dashboards for leaders that you can delegate access to, customizable reports, business impact reports, everything you need is in there. I'm going to show you one slide in there actually that I think you would find really valuable as well, and it helps just to clarify what is available and what's not. And then skilling, the Copilot Academy is also available to you. So how can you use that to help educate your new Copilot users with the skills they need? So I've just pulled out the slide that I think is really valuable because Viva has got so many different capabilities. Lots of customers want to know what's included with M365, what's included with M365 and Copilot, if you've got a Copilot license, and then what's included with the Viva license. So great slide there, great deck to go away and have a look at. So that's the guides done. Now we're going to look at tools and templates, and this is where the magic happens. I think we're hiding things away in this section that are so valuable. The first one being we've added this new 2 sections. So we've got this Copilot chat tools and templates section, and you'll see here there are Copilot prompt-a-thons and Copilot launch day kit. I don't know why they're in the Copilot chat section only, because they apply to everything. But I really want to call these 2 assets out because I get asked for these all the time. And if you've ever been to one of our prompt-a-thons, you'll know that these are real winners for helping people realize what they could do with Copilot in their area of the business. So in this prompt-a-thon section, you are going to find everything you need to get started. There's a guide that takes you through what is a prompt-a-thon. There's communications out there to help people register. There's even step-by-step videos of taking you through how you can deliver your own prompt-a-thon. And then if you download the kit, you're going to find in there 5 individual guides, like what is a prompt-a-thon, how do you get started, even things like rules of the day, what to do, what to tell your judges, how to hold a prompt masterclass. The prompt masterclass actually includes pre-created demo videos for you as well, so you can show those. They have thought of everything in here. They've even got slides to remind you to share the Wi-Fi code and a real breakdown of the agenda. It includes the editable promotion flyers, pre-created communications for your hackers, for your coaches, and for your judges. So they've literally thought of everything. So definitely go away and have a look at that. Now, launch days come and you want to drive excitement, but where do you find the logos, the kind of content that you might need to get people coming over to your stand? You're going to find that in the launch day kit. It's broken down into 2 sections. So you've got planning and logistics, and then you've got asset production and rollout. So in the planning and logistics, they've even put together a bit of a timeline for you to think about all the things you might want to do before your launch day happens. And then how you're going to pimp up your area. You might want some flyers. They've got, the pop-up roll or banners. I've used these recently. All the artwork's in there. Send it to your printer. You don't even need to worry about it. All done in the high resolution that you need. Booth backdrop. So if you want to have your picture taken next to or in front of the booth banner, that's all there for you. Digital banners. So if you've got digital screens around your building, you might want to promote your upcoming event. So we've got the smaller digital banner here, and then the screen banners. They've created all the comms for you. You can go in there and edit them to make it your tone of voice for your company. And then even some social media banners. Everything's editable, so you can go in and make those changes as you need. In this tools and templates section, you are also going to find some onboarding templates. So maybe you want to create some content with some images of Copilot action. That's all there. There's also more communication templates, even ones in multiple languages. So the main languages are probably covered there, not all languages, but you're going to find that in that onboarding kit. And then often we forget about managers, and they are absolutely critical. We spend a lot of time with the leaders, we spend a lot of time with the end users, but the people in the middle that are really driving this change for us are those managers, and they need to feel comfortable with using the tools. So we've got a one-page guide here, and we've also got some communication templates to make those managers feel like they're getting a little bit of attention, or a bit more attention, give a bit more of a white glove service. So those manager onboarding templates are really useful too. And then we're going to move into the training kit. Now, if you download the training kit, you're going to get a zip file that contains all these different files. And I'm going to take you through these. Now, I find this training kit is really useful, especially if you've created a center of excellence. So if you've got a team site or an engage page where all your Copilot users are in and you want to share some best practice with them, these are great guides to be sharing because they're ones that they can easily digest. They take 2 minutes to read. You know, you can keep them, print them out, put them on your desk if you want to. But they're a great way to get started. So what have we got in here? We've got a quick start guide. We've got some prompts, do's and don'ts. Really useful just to get people thinking about actually how do I formulate my prompt. You have got some app skilling decks. Now, I use these all the time, especially this Excel one. So what they are different. If you were doing lunch and learns, these would be perfect. So I've done this Excel session. There's 27 Excel slides in this deck, but it takes you through how Copilot in Excel can help you with things like formulas, analyze and visualize data, working with text. But it breaks it down really simply and explains it to you. Now, this is my, if you're learning how to get the best out of Copilot in Excel, this is where I would come first. And I've delivered this session to my customers. They found this actually the one that clarified most of their questions. Then we move on to PowerPoint. So there's a deck there with little videos in it, just short demo videos that you can pull out and put into something else if you wanted. But it takes you through to summarize, create, understand, organize, and edit presentations. Moving on to Teams. Teams guide has some really great explanations about transcription. When you switch on, when is it recording, when's it storing the transcription? It explains a lot of that. Just really clarifies a lot of questions about using Copilot in Teams meetings. It also covers Teams chats and channels. So definitely one to go away and read. I find it really useful. I found I got a lot of information out of it for myself. Some missing jigsaw puzzle pieces were put back in there after reading that deck. So go away and have a look at that. And then Word. So some of the simpler stuff, how to draft, rewrite, visualize, get information from other documents and coaching. Again, it's got those short demos in it. So really useful. Even if you just want to pull those short demos out and share them in your Center of Excellence, going to be helpful to people. And then more prompting best practice. So helping you understand what the recipe for success is with Copilot prompting. And then finally in this section is top 10 things to try. So as I said, these are great one slide wins for putting in to your Center of Excellence or posting on your Engage page. Going to really help. And then there is actually a bit more of a guide on skilling, and this could be skilling for yourself or some of your users. So just links out to other assets that by phase of your deployment, which you might find handy, and then just reminding you of where else you can get skilling. So you've got the Academy, you've got Microsoft Learn, you've also got the Copilot prompt gallery. It's labeled Copilot Lab here. That was so last week. It's not called Copilot Lab anymore. It's now called Prompt Gallery. So that is in there. Let me just show you some of those assets. This is the section I mentioned. So the tools and templates, Copilot chat tools and templates. There you're going to find your prompt-a-thon, your launch day kit, and a trainer kit for Copilot chat. There's also resources for schools and universities in that section. In this section, is focused on M365 Copilot. So this is we have all the apps, the full all singing, all dancing version of Copilot. Again, you've got the onboarding template, manager templates, you've got the training kit, but now you've got these getting started with the different apps, the handouts, prompt ingredients handout. So some of them do overlap. But yeah, I don't know why the prompt-a-thon and launch day kit are hidden away here. They're relevant here too. So if I look through some of these, you'll see the prompt-a-thon page full of great stuff in there. The launch day kit, you can just download the full launch day kit there. Excel. So this is the Excel deck that I mentioned. I find this really useful. One thing that to call out with Excel, it really explains the fact that, you know, there are some things that you need to have prepared before you start using Excel. Like you need to have autosave on. It doesn't have to be in a table, but it needs to be a kind of table format. You can't have gaps. You can't have pivoted data. The columns need to be across the headers need to be across the top, not down the side. So it gives you some really useful information about getting ready to use Excel, and then takes you through all these different sections. So if Excel is a big one for you and your company, start here. This would be my recommendation. Next, PowerPoint, as I mentioned, Teams, as I said about the whole transcription, that's a question I get asked all the time. This really helps to clarify different scenarios that you might have, depending on whether you need the transcript to be available or not after the meeting. Talks about different prompts you might want to use, and then it goes into channels and chat as well. Word, we've discussed already. So this is a handout getting started. It's got some little embedded videos in there, which is great. The prompts, prompting do's and don'ts, the recipes for success, and there is actually a strategy overview as well. I find this quite interesting. So there's a section in here called User Experience Principles. And as a change manager, these are always good to just refresh your memory of. And that is it. So as I said, everything you need to know is in that success kit. I will share this deck with you so you can be reminded of what's in there and you don't have to go and click the 200 links. But just keep looking at it. It's the one-stop shop for all Copilot resources. You can find the latest announcements in there, all the latest assets. It's going to help you keep up to date with the changes as well, because as we change, we'll update the kit, and you can look at that change log now to see what's been added. So if you're looking for it now, have a look. Type Copilot Success Kit into Bing or your favorite search engine, and you'll find yourself on that page. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Copilot Cafe. Join Joe for a 10-minute stay. Learn new tips every day with demos that light the way.